What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about two of the rarest and most expensive Mighty Morphin Power Ranger action figures that you could possibly try to add to your collection. Now, when we talk about the price points and things of that nature today, we're talking about these particular figures sealed in their packaging with the packaging in great condition. Naturally, you could probably find some of these for a much cheaper price if the packaging is dinged up or damaged, or even if they don't have the packaging at all and they're out of packaging. But for the sake of argument today, we're talking about these two figures in the condition that I have them, sealed in package with the packaging in very good to excellent condition. Now, the figure over here to my right is the Automorphin White Ranger Tommy from the Series 2 release of action figures. Now, these toys actually didn't come out until the debut of Season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on TV. But one of the reasons why this particular figure is so expensive and kind of rare and hard to find anywhere really is because of the fact that they didn't make nearly as many of these action figures as they did the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger flip heads. For the first couple releases of toys, they made an absolute ton of those toys, which is why to this day you can still pick up even the original Automorphin flip head Rangers, the original 5 Rangers, to include the Green Ranger, for a pretty decent price, sealed in package with the packaging in good condition, because of how many that are still in circulation today, because they made an absolute ton of them. But as they progressed on, the toy lines after that didn't receive as many, the numbers in production just weren't that high. So these figures didn't have that many released, which is why they're kind of hard to find, and when you do find them, they're pretty expensive. Over here to my left, we have a Gold Team 2-pack. Now, the figure over here to the right, the Automorphin White Ranger Tommy, was released in 1995, right at the beginning of the Season 3 on TV. Over here, the Gold Team actually was released in the Zeo line in 1996. Now, we will take a closer look at the Automorphin White Ranger Tommy. I do a complete review of the Series 2 Automorphin flip heads to include the White Ranger in a different video. I will leave a link to it in the description below so you can check that out. But here is the packaging to it. As you can see, they made some slight changes with the packaging. Over here to the left, you will see a lightning bolt tattoo that replaced the old power coin tattoos that you used to receive. I would have much preferred a Tiger Zord tiger coin with this instead of the actual lightning bolt. But we still got a tattoo, so I can't complain about it that much. We still get his trusty sidekick and sword Saba right here included. He also comes with a power blaster, much like all of the Green Ranger figures did, even though the White Ranger did not have a power blaster. You still see, it's a much smaller picture, but they still show a picture of their out-of-action form of their actual head sculpt. The head sculpt is pretty much the same from the Green Ranger. They didn't really change it at all that I noticed, except for maybe applying a little bit more paint or less paint here and there. But the sculpt itself looks the same. The background is obviously changed. They moved the figures over a little bit and centered them in the center of the card instead of over to the left. And the background now has an upside down triangle. So slight differences in the packaging, the coloring, everything still looks great on these original packaging, I think. That's my opinion, but I love them. And then here on the back you will see that we now have pictures of the Series 2 Rangers. Of course, the red, black, and yellow Ranger were re-released with their correct head sculpts when the 3 actors replaced Zach, Jason, and Trini in the show. So we got a re-release of them as well. They are also kind of rare and kind of expensive, but a little bit less so than the White Ranger. Down here at the bottom, we have all the villains from the Season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that were released. So that's the differences in the back. We're going to go ahead and set that to the side over here. Absolutely love this toy. This is my original White Ranger that I picked up for about $3.99 at a Big Lots many, many years ago. And the only issue I've ever had with this toy, and I talk about this in a separate video, is the shield itself. Not long after having it out of the package, and I was very careful with my toys. I always try to keep them in very good condition. I was more of a collector than someone who actually played with them. But one of the pegs on the shield actually broke off in the front that holds it together. Now, it still stays on just fine with that one peg that's still attached to it. But that's the only issue that I've ever had with my Automorphin White Ranger Tommy. Alright, we're going to move on to the Gold Team. Now, I've included my Green Ranger here as well from my childhood. I also do a full review of this in a separate video, which I will leave in a link below. So the other figure that we have is actually a 2-pack. It is of these two Rangers together, and it is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Automorphin Gold Team. Now this is probably one of the rarest items in my collection, mainly because of the packaging is in such good shape. I have seen a couple more of these listed on eBay and other private sites throughout the years. They usually run about the same price, but I've never found one in as good a condition as this one is. Now you will see it includes both the White Ranger and Green Ranger. It comes with a white power blaster, which they both came with, and it also comes with Saba. But much to my surprise, they did not include a Dragon Dagger with this. There is no Dragon Dagger / flute anywhere inside the packaging unless it is hidden very well. But I've even seen other people open their packaging and this, that, and the other, and there is no Dragon Dagger inside of it. So I was very surprised to see it did not come with a Dragon Dagger. I would have much rather had a Dragon Dagger instead of the blaster, because neither one of them actually had a blaster. But that's neither here nor there. Now over here in the bottom right, on the front right here, it says Limited Edition Classic, Cardzillion card included. So back here behind the Green Ranger, there is a special trading card included of the Green Ranger himself. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen the card out of here, so I don't know if it's got the White Ranger on the other side or not. But all I know is that it has a Green Ranger playing the Dragon Flute on it, even though it doesn't include a Dragon Flute. But the packaging to this is absolutely awesome. It's got the black and gold look going on to it. Now, the only difference in the actual figures themselves that I notice from their original releases to the gold team here is the fact that the White Ranger, and I'll try to hold it up here so you can see it. The White Ranger, the gold on the White Ranger actually looks a little bit darker gold. Other than that, it's the exact same mold, but the paint itself looks a tiny bit darker. So, I mean, that's fine. I prefer the little bit lighter gold of the original release of it, but this is a special edition release, so that's fine that they changed it a little bit. It still looks absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite things in my collection. Now down here at the bottom, you will see over to the right it says Made in China, but over here to the left it says that the collection card was printed in Hong Kong. So the special card was printed in Hong Kong. It doesn't say specifically. It also says it here again on the back, collector card printed in Hong Kong, made in China. So it doesn't say specifically where all the other figures are made other than in China, but the card itself was made in Hong Kong, China. On the back here you can see this is the backer to all of the Zeo figures, because this was released with the Zeo line. And that is the Gold Team 2-pack. Now, let's go ahead and talk about price points. So, if you're trying to pick one of these figures up to add to your collection, a couple things are going to come into play there. One, how quickly do you want it? And secondly, how much are you willing to pay for it? So over here to the left, and I will show some references here on the screen so you can see that these things actually have been listed for this. But over the last 10 years or so, as I've been more actively growing my collection, I've noticed, all the prices that are usually asked for these figures. So that's kind of where I get my information from. And the Gold Team over here to the left is the most expensive, simply because of how rare it is. There were much less of these made than the White Ranger flip head themselves. So I have seen the Gold Team over here listed and sell for anywhere from $250 to $500. That is about the regular price point. Now that's not to say that you couldn't find it a little bit cheaper, but if you find it any cheaper than the 200, 250 mark in the 100s and the packaging is in excellent condition, that is a very good buy. If you have the money, go ahead and pick it up, because it's pretty hard to come by one of these, especially in very good condition at that price point. People usually ask around $300 to $375 for it. So be ready to dish out anywhere from $250 to $500 for the actual Gold Team. Now when we talk about the Series 2 Automorphin White Ranger, I will also list some listings for that. Now, once again, this is the packaging in very, very good condition. You can expect to pay anywhere from $200 to $350 for the White Ranger over here. I have seen it listed for less than that with the packaging a little dinged up, and it's not to say that you might not find a good deal, but that is about the average of what I see it listed for, and usually around what I see it sell for. So these two particular figures are the hardest to come by and the most expensive. Now, there are other figures that I will include here in a minute for my honorable mentions that are also pretty hard to come by, but I just don't see them sell for as much as these two particular figures do. The first of my honorable mentions are the Alien Rangers. So the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers that debuted on TV in Series 3 during the Ninjetti storyline, those are pretty hard to come by as well, because once again, they didn't seem to make as many figures after the first couple seasons of Power Rangers. So there are a lot less of them in circulation today, which helps drive that price point. But if you find the Alien Rangers in good condition, sealed and packaged with the packaging in good condition, you can expect to pay anywhere from about $80 to $150 each for those. So those still fetch a pretty good price, but I haven't seen them sell for as much as these two do. Another honorable mention that I'm going to throw up on the screen are the Battleborgs. So the Shogun Battleborgs, the individual figures themselves, those are also pretty rare, and if you find them sealed and packaged, you can expect to pay about the same, anywhere close to $100, upwards of $150 each for those particular figures. Now, the third thing on my list that I'm going to include naturally are Megazords. So any of the Megazords from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, about Seasons 1 through Seasons 3 is what we're talking about here. Those can fetch, out of package in very good condition, you can expect to pay anywhere from $100, maybe $150. If they are sealed in the boxes, you can expect to pay upwards of about $200, maybe even a little bit more. Specifically for Titanus, he comes to mind because I don't think they produce nearly as many Titanuses as they did Dragonzord, Dino Megazord, even the Ninja Megazord or Thunder Megazord, things of that nature. So you can expect to pay, upwards of $200, maybe a little bit more for those sealed in the packaging, which is what I've actually purchased them for. But these two particular figures themselves seem to be the hardest to come by. Now, you will come by the White Ranger a little bit more than the Gold Team, but these are regularly priced at between $200 to $500. So these have been the most expensive in my experience for what you might try to get your hands on. So just be ready for that. Be patient when you're growing any collection. If you do run into any one of these figures, though, with the packaging in very good condition for less than the price point that I pointed out, that is a very good buy, and you should highly consider going ahead and picking that up. But try not to get in a hurry, because that's when you're going to end up paying a lot more for something than you could probably find it a little bit later. So this has been my quick review here of two of the rarest and most expensive Mighty Morphin Power Ranger action figures / toys that you could try to get your hands on. Now, this includes American release only. Naturally, any of the original Japanese toys, to include the Megazords, are going to run you as much, if not a lot more, than some of the price points I pointed out. So this was the American release toys only. So that has been my quick video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helped you out a little bit. And until next time, I will see you next video.